Hey guys, it's Evan here. So today is National Coming Out Day, and I thought I would wrap this video in with my sorely um, late transition update. I don't think I've made a transition update since month 4, and it is now month 7, actually, about 7.5 months that I've been on testosterone. Um, I'm coming up on 1 year of when I first started to come out to people. That was in November of last year, so we're in October. Um, there's been a few different reasons why I haven't done a video update. I've recorded a video update several times in the last few months, and I've had issues, technical issues, and also the biggest reason is I've been frustrated, and I've been frustrated with my lack of changes. The biggest thing that transition has taught me so far is about setting my expectations, and I went into this knowing don't set expectations. That's what people taught me. That was the advice that I got. Don't set expectations, and sure enough, I came in with high expectations. And so 6 months on testosterone, and other than like a drop in my voice and some changes that I've noticed that other people don't notice, there aren't really any changes, at least not that I see. Sorry, I keep playing with this. I'm trying to get good lighting. Anyways, so yeah, so I've been frustrated. This journey has not been easy. So as far as the changes that I have happened, obviously my voice continues to get lower. It's cracking a lot lately. I thought I was kind of past that, but it's starting to crack again. That's always fun whenever you're talking to your boss and your voice cracks like a 13-year-old boy. Um, there's hair in a lot of other places on my body. Nothing on the face, nothing above the waistline, but plenty below. I have noticed a big change in my strength, and that's really nice. Like I really appreciate that. There's things that I can pick up with ease now that 7 months ago there was some things I have to pick up in my store. I manage a store in retail, and there were items that a year ago I know I was struggling. I had to have someone help me carry, and now I can carry them with ease. So that's nice. I am like noticing some changes, but the overall there haven't been a lot, and that's just everyone reacts differently to testosterone. I see my doctor every 3 months, and some people will take like 3 shots of tea and they look completely different. They've got a full beard, they look like a different person. And then there's people that are on testosterone for 2 years and you hardly see any changes during that time. And that's just the genetics of my body. There's nothing I can do. My T levels are where they're supposed to be. I'm healthy. I'm in good condition, and there's nothing else that I can do except for wait. But it hasn't been easy. Um, I I think a lot of it is as you start to live your authentic self, it becomes harder to accept when people don't see you that way. I knew that I was trans for years, and especially in the last 2 years before coming out, I really knew in my heart that I was transgender. I contacted a few people secretly and talked to them, people that weren't even close friends of mine, just people that I knew through social media. And I told them, I outed myself to them and said I'm trans, but I don't think I'm ever going to be able to come out. And then after coming out and starting testosterone and making these active moves, changing my name, living as a man, coming out at work to my boss and my employees, and all the changes that I've made to live my authentic life. Now, when I'm misgendered, it's hard. Misgendered is whenever someone calls you the wrong gender. So obviously, I go by he, him pronouns. Some people choose to go by they, them pronouns. One pronoun I don't like, she, her. I don't like those pronouns. Don't use them. But I get called she, her 95% of the time by strangers still. Even, this is what I wear to work. I wear my little name tag that says Evan, and people still call me she, her 95% of the time if they're strangers. Obviously, my staff is very respectful. My friends and family are supportive. Well, my family on the East Coast. And before, obviously, even knowing that I was transgender, if someone called me she, her, I didn't care. I didn't care what I wore. If I went back home, I'd put on a skirt or a dress to go to church because I was trying to people please my parents into loving me and accepting me. And it wouldn't happen today. I'm not gonna wear those clothes. Not because there's anything wrong with it. Some people have expressed their gender that way, but for me, at least for right now, I have a very masculine presentation. That's what I've always wanted to do, and I'm getting to appreciate that. I'm getting to appreciate wearing the clothes and having the mannerisms that I always wanted, that were natural to me, that I had to fight back. But now trying to live as my authentic self, when someone calls me she, her, it like cuts deep, because I'm not being seen for me. Like, I can see myself now. My whole life I couldn't see myself, who I was, who I wanted to be, and now I can see myself. And it's frustrating because other people can't see me. It's very hard. And I don't know how to explain that to someone who doesn't live it, you know? I don't, just like I guess a person of color doesn't know how to explain to a white person what it's like to live in this climate as a person of color. I can't explain to someone who's not trans what body dysphoria is. And that's the terminology that uses whenever you look at yourself, or the way that the world perceives you. It's dysphoria. And it's tough, and people just like don't get it. I've had so many things said to me, and it's well-meaning people. People aren't trying to be mean. And that's the thing about being transgender. Like, you can live in a society that's just uneducated, and it's just cuts deep, and they're not trying to be. You know, people, I wear my name tag, it says Evan, and I had these are real things that people have said to me. One woman looks at me and she goes, "Oh, Yvonne, how exotic." Another woman looked at my name tag and she goes, "Evan, oh my God, I love when girls have guys' names. My sister's name is Ryan. It's amazing. It's a riot." What do I have to do? What do I have to do? And it's a customer. I'm working. I'm not going to stop and educate this woman on transgender issues. I have a job to do. I have to be professional at work. And this woman's not trying to be mean. These women weren't trying to be mean. Another customer, though, looked at me, and she looks at my name tag, and she looks at me, and she looks at my name tag, and she looks at me, and she goes, "Evan, what are you, a transgender?" And I said, "Yes, I'm a transgender man." She goes, "Oh, you want to be a boy, huh?" I said, "Yes, ma'am. That's what I'm working on." Could have been a better response, I get it, but I'm just at the front of my store, again, trying to conduct my business, not trying to get into any kind of debate or discussion with this woman about who I am. And she goes, "Well, good for you." I mean, she was trying to be nice, but it was still like, "Trying to be a boy, huh? Keep trying. Okay." So, and there's a guy that literally tried to grab me and stop me from going into the men's restroom just about 2 weeks ago. And again, this guy wasn't trying to be a bigot. Like, he was just trying to stop this poor little lady from making an egregious mistake. And now and people don't harass me. They don't say things. They just look at me. They just look at me and they stare and they try to figure out what they're doing, or what I'm doing and what I am. And it's those things every day. Because the first couple of days you wake up and you're ready and you're excited because you're out and you're you. And then the next week you got to wake up, and the next week, and the next month, and the next month after that. Which doesn't sound like this is a very positive reason for coming out. Why am I sharing this on Coming Out Day? Because I was talking with a group of friends the other day, and I genuinely can say from the bottom of my heart, coming out is not easier. Living out is not. My life is 1,000 times harder today, but it's better. And I don't know how to explain why it's better. Maybe it's just because I can feel myself. My mind and my body were never aligned. It was like they were three different things. My mind, my body, and soul were three different things. And like, I just felt in constant chaos. And you get used to it, so you don't even realize that you're living in constant chaos because it's what you've known forever. And when I started taking testosterone and I started being authentic, it just aligned something in me. And I wouldn't go back, and I wouldn't change it. And it doesn't matter what other crap comes along. I wouldn't change it. It's not easy. I've hardly spoken to my parents in months. In fact, it's been a long time since I've spoken to my parents. And then the few conversations that we've had have been them begging me not to transition or getting in an argument. I don't think my parents even know my wedding date. I'm getting married next year, and my parents don't even know what day I'm getting married. They're not coming. They told me a year ago that they weren't coming to the wedding. But yeah, what do? You just keep living yourself. Keep doing what you have to do. I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't change it. I'm grateful for my family out here, but it's hard. I've lost some friends. I didn't expect to. I thought I'd lost all my friends in the first purge when I left my church years ago. But I have, and I miss my parents. But I have good people out here, and I'm grateful for that. And if you're thinking of coming out as gay, bisexual, pansexual, queer, gender, I'd say do it. I know this doesn't sound very encouraging, but this is real. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be very hard, but there is something so rewarding about it in your soul. And you find people who are more real. There's something so beautiful about being loved for who you authentically are. My parents on the East Coast, my fiance's parents, they love me for who I am. My fiance loves me for who I am. The friends in my life today know me for me, and they love me for me. And I would trade that 1,000 times. I would trade that small group of people for the countless people that were in my life before, but that never knew me. So I'm sorry if this wasn't very uplifting, but if you're struggling, hang in there. If you can't come out, do it. And if it's not safe, just keep hanging on. Keep hanging on. There's people that are there for you and that will love you for you. Bye, guys.